Hope everybody is fine, doing well at home. Enjoy your extended holidays by continuously studying and reading full-fledged into that. Get your mind full-fledgedly into the studies by staying at home. Okay, now welcome back to once again our English class, where we have started already in the previous class the prose lesson To Serve with Love, in which I have explained you about the author, how he changed his profession from one of the pilot to novelist to diplomat to teacher, many of the things, and he held positions in UNO as well. And he has discussed about the qualities of a teacher, what he needed, and how he has trained, or you can say handled the students, or in a different type of the students, how he handled. The students were very indifferent, hostile, as well as the spoiled ones. So what he did in the class, we have to gone through that one. He divided the lesson, this To Serve with Love, into 3 points. This is the first. The next, here we can go with the second and the third one. It will be easier for you to understand this and keep it in your mind separately, 1, 2, 3. So don't take it as a whole, keep it as 1, 2, 3. So it will be easier for you for writing the annotations as well and understanding the lesson. Now, what he did is that first day, when he has to enter the class, he got appointment. The next day, he has to enter the class. So immediately after the assembly, he entered into the class without giving them any chance to settle down. They were in a hurry and they were actually in a restless situation, because you know what happened when you entered the class. You go for hi, hello, good morning and all, then you keep your bags, then you clean your benches, then you want to sit, then you want to actually wait for your friend. Many things would happen. So immediately, in what he did is that as soon as the assembly ends, he didn't give them a chance. He immediately waited into the class, or you can say entered into the class. As soon as he entered, everybody wished him, and then they sat at their places. So he said that, let me introduce myself to you. Like, he didn't want to give his name and detailed qualifications and all. He said, I'm your teacher. First thing is that keep it in mind that I'm your teacher and I came here to teach you. And my plans, what are my plans for this academic year? He wanted to make it very clear to the students what he thought of and how he is going to enact those or implement his plans. So first he said that, first listen, then I'll give you the chance to speak. First listen to what the sir is saying, to what Mr. Braithwaite wants to say. First listen to me, uninterrupting me, without interruption, just listen to me carefully. Then after completing my whatever the plans are, I wanted to wish you to listen. After that, you just come out with your doubts and whatever the things. When you will speak, I won't disturb you. Okay, like a deal. He said, I will speak, don't disturb me. Then when you will speak, I will not disturb it to you. Because these are not the common, normal, regular students. These are the very different students. And as I said in the previous class, he was a black man. So he has to get a lot of into troubles to prove himself, to make the people love himself. So he was in a very difficult situation at that time, and he has never had the experience of teaching, and that too for the first time he was teaching and in a different atmosphere with the different students. So in the class there was a student known as Senham. The name of the student is Senham. He was very indifferent and he leaned to listen. He just wanted to know that what the person is going to say. Like, I too have a lot of experience in teaching. By the eyes of yours, by the expressions on your face, we can understand whether you have understood, whether you are interested, whether you like the explanation, whether you are really wish to attend the classes. We can understand all this, because it is being said that your eyes, everybody's eyes are the windows of the soul. It is said by Helen Keller, the one who is dumb, deaf and blind. All the no senses she had, but she has written such a great books, such a celebrated person she was, that really we have to gone through once in lifetime her life history to understand that how she has struggled with having all the disabilities. So she has said that eyes are the windows of the soul. Obviously from the eyes, from the expressions on your face, we can able to get that all the your feelings and your emotions towards the class and towards your teacher. So here is that the Senham, the person, the boy was actually a more mischievous, or you can say dawn of the class, and he was sitting there and he understood Braithwaite that he is not a like normal student. So but he also wanted to listen, okay, let me see what he has to speak. That type of attitude was on his face, and he was sitting in the front bench and he just leaned on the bench to listen to Mr. Braithwaite. He said that I will start talking to you. If you don't understand anything, when I start teaching, I'll try my level best to teach you to the core. That means I wanted you to learn everything, and I can teach you from my best. Whatever my possibilities are, potentials are, I will use and I will teach you the best. But again, if you don't understand, if you have any problem into that, please ask me. You ask me, you can question me, you can raise a doubt. I'll be here to clarify, I'll be here to reply you back. So that was the first thing where he started developing an impression on the people, on the students, that okay, he is a good person, at least he can listen to us. This was the second time. Remember what he said? If you first listen to me, then I'll give you the chance to speak. Then next here he is saying that if you don't understand, ask. That means he is showing that how approachable he is towards the student. This is the one of the best qualities of the teacher. Like they should be approachable to the student, not approachable for the personal talks, for the personal like benefits and all, for the studious point, for the studies point of view. They should be approachable, they should connect to you mentally, so you can able to understand the subject in a better way. Now he said that after 6 months you are leaving the school. Who are leaving the school? The students who are there. You are leaving the school after 6 months and you are going to earn. That means you are going to do the job, do the business or something, because you know that in Western countries, just after completing your 18 years, or normally just after your 15 years, you have to start earning for yourself. You cannot be dependent on your parents. So he said that after 6 months you are leaving the school and you are going to earn. So better I should start behaving with you not as the children but as the adults. I don't want you to be seen as the children of the class or students of that. I would like to see you as the adults, because obviously after 6 months you are going out, you are going to earn, you are going to get a job. So let us handle you as the adults. This is the most weakening, or you can say the weakness of the adolescents, that always they have a complaint that we have neither being treated as a child nor as an adult. In your teenage, now your adolescence, people, you don't want to play with the children, those who are just 10 years or 8 or 10 years or lesser than that, you don't want to play with them because you have a feel like they are children, how should I play? And the adults don't involve you in their talk. So you are in between, you are hanging and you are thinking that to where we belong. Either are we a children or are we a adult? Many times it happens that at home, if suppose there is a talk going on among your parents, elder ones and all of them were sitting, many meetings normally would be conducted at homes. So if they are talking and all, if you want to interfere into that, they would say that you don't know, you are a child, keep quiet, you are still too young to understand, there is no need to interfere into that. Okay. And when you have done something wrong, they may scold you, are you a child, how you are behaving? So seriously speaking, you got a confusion. whether am I a child or am I an adult. So this are the confusing age where you don't decide, you cannot able to decide where I have to go, this side or that side. But this is the best age to understand the world, to realize, to even understand your own self, to realize your own potentials. This is the best age. So here is that he said after 6 months, because you are leaving and you are going to earn, I'll call you as the adults, and you are the most, you get the topmost class of the school. So I wanted you to show me the higher standards of behavior, higher standards of your talk, walk, everything, higher standards to be maintained by, because you are the highest class, you should maintain the better standards, because your standards, your criteria all will be followed by your younger ones and especially your juniors. So he said that there is a need to show me your better standards. Suddenly when he was talking about this one, suddenly one girl barged into the class. That means she opened the door and she entered into the class rushing way because she was late. Her name was Pamela Dare. She entered into the class and she sat at her place because she was late. She disturbed the whole class, and everybody, you can understand that it may happen that everybody would like to look to the door because there was such a sudden noise and everybody wants to see that, and by the time she settled down, everybody would be gluing to see at her what she is doing, what she is sitting or not, everything. So this was not liked by Mr. Braithwaite, but he could not say that this is not liked by me. So he said that there are like how to maintain the standards I was talking about. He continued, Mr. Braithwaite continued, and he said like there are two ways to enter into the class. One way is without any politeness, without any normal manners and etiquettes, without asking permission, just pushing the door and entering into the class and rushing to your place. That is one of the impolite way, like just now Miss Dare has done. He continued the explanatory part plus he has taken the example, and then he said now Miss Pamela Dare will show you the second way to enter into the class, how she is supposed to maintain the standard. How? Because she is a topmost class student. So what she has to do, she can go outside and she can stand there and politely she can ask the permission and open the door, and in a good manner she can come and sit on the bench. This was being said by Mr. Braithwaite. So everybody was started looking at Miss Pamela, because they wanted to know that whether she would follow him or not. And you can understand that now Pamela is in a you can say she is in a rut. That means she is confused, she is actually trapped. She didn't understand what to do, but she has looked at everybody and everybody was looking at her. So quietly, though she was getting very angry because her eyes were giving the expression of anger, Mr. Braithwaite understood, but she simply get up from her place. She went out, she closed the door behind her, then slowly she opened the door, asked the permission of sir and entered into that, and very dignifiedly she sat on her place. So at that time Mr. Braithwaite said, thank you Miss Pamela, this is the second way she showed. Now you people have to decide which is the good standard and higher standard and which you have to follow. So obviously this is the second arrow, or you can say this is the third or fourth arrow which he has hit into the heart of the students. The student understand what he wanted, and really it is a truthful one that if you want to show your etiquettes and manners, then there is a need for you to be respectful towards the others. She has done that, and now Mr. Braithwaite move on to the other section, or he started saying the other one. Now he said that because, as I said, you are going to be into the new life or earning life as an adults. So I want all the girls to be addressed as Miss. Like her name is Pamela Dare. So she could be called as Miss Pamela Dare by all the classmates, including Mr. Braithwaite. In my class, you should call her all the girls by the name, including Miss before their name. And boys would be called by their surnames. Surnames would be there, everybody would have surnames. So he said that boys would be called by their surnames, so it will be easier, like you are giving them some type of the respect. So he wanted that the boys to be called by surnames and girls to be addressed with Miss in front of their names. And for himself he said, either you can call me Mr. Braithwaite or you can call me sir. If you feel respect for me, go ahead and call me sir. Or if you want to call me, or if you want only to ask any question or anything, if you want to call me, you just start calling me Mr. Braithwaite. They give the respect and take the respect. During that time, till the time everybody was listening, but during this Miss and surnames and all, one of the boy known as Potter, he just raised his hand and he said that I want to ask one question. So it is natural for Mr. Braithwaite, he said, yeah, please go ahead. So he said, I have an objection. Why should we call the girls as Miss when we know their names? We know their names. Now we know this is Pamela, this is so and so, this is Lucy and all. So why should we call them by Miss and give them so much respect? So now he said that, Mr. Braithwaite, now it is the duty of the teacher, whenever any doubt being asked, the teacher's duty is that to clarify the doubts and to make the student satisfy whatever their doubt is. So now he said that after that I said you that you are going to join the jobs. When you are going to join new places, new jobs, new people you are going to meet, and you cannot get like so informal by anybody that you start calling them by their name. You have to use their surnames, you have to use Miss before that or Mrs. whatever it is being required, then you have to call them like that. Otherwise they may think that you are an unetiquette, immoral and such a person who is not at all be groomed, who does not have any manners. So when you are and before joining the jobs, I am going to train you for this, and this is the type of training I am giving it to you. He wanted to say that, and obviously Potter agreed. He understood. Not only he, the question was being actually raised into the minds of the others maybe, but they didn't ask. But now everybody was satisfied. What he was saying is correct, because if you want to train yourself, you have to start training first, then you can join another place. So he said that training is necessary, and this is the training I am giving it to you for joining the jobs. That was the end of the second part. This is the first part where he said something and he wanted everybody to listen, and he has taught a lesson of politeness to Pamela Dare by making her do the same entrance one more time, same entering into the class or same act one more time in a better and a polite way. Now next is that in the third section he has discussed that general conduct, generally how to behave with each other, how to talk to each other, and the girls also. If the boys are giving you respect, they are calling you by Miss and all, they are giving you so much respect, so do one thing, that you too give them some respect and talk to them in a courtesy or courteous manner, very good manner. Like you should give them, show them courtesies. It is not like that men are, if suppose the boys are giving value and they are giving you the place to sit and they are moving back or something, if they are helping you out, so this is your chance to help them as well, because you don't take them for granted. It is like, okay, we are the girls, so we have supposed to be taken care of. No, you are also one of the classmates. Forget about the genders, and you have to help each other, and you have to treat the boys as well as the classmates. Don't treat them because they are the boys, they can do everything, we are sitting here and we are just enjoying. No, you just have to help them out during the class hours, whatever there is a need. And he said that I will talk to Mrs. Dale Evan. She was a domestic teacher, domestic science teacher. So he said that I will tell, I have already discussed with her and I told her in her class to give a lecture on moral behaviors and etiquettes for the girls. At this time, Mr. Braithwaite didn't talk to Mrs. De Leon. He didn't talk. But he, just to make an impression on the student, he said, and he decided that as soon as the recess will be given, I'll just go and talk to Mrs. Dale that please, whenever you are going into the class, groom the students and just give a speech on the conduct of the girls. So he thought of that, but he decided. He said to the students. Now next is that he said for the boys that you should start grooming yourself. Grooming means making yourself neat and tidy. The same thing he said for the girls, that become worthy of appreciativeness. It is not about how much makeup you applied. It is the mind makeup. How much you are showing your intelligence levels and how you become worthy of praise. Praising doesn't mean you are praising the physical personality. It is the inner beauty which to be praised. Now for the boys he said that don't become so rough. Maintain a proper haircut. Keep your nails tidy. Cut your nails on time. Take care of your dresses, uniforms, whatever you are wearing, it should be clean and better to look at, because he said that no muscles are needed. This is actually one of the tight slap on the people, those who believe that going to the gym and maintaining a muscles or you can say maintaining a muscular body is enough to be appreciative, to be good. It is not. It is not possible. You don't need the muscles to look good. You need the brain to be good. And he said that no roughness. Don't behave in a rough way with everybody and think that I'm cool and a good boy and I'm looking like a don. Nobody like the don. Nobody like the rough boys. Not even the jobs, not anywhere in the life, nobody would like to talk to you people. So he said that maintain your talk and walk in a better way. Right now you must have seen many of the you can say varieties of the hairstyles with the colors on hair and with the torn jeans, with showing their muscles and all. You can find everywhere, every nook and corner in the whole city you can find out. So, and if you ask their degrees, they may not have, because education makes you better. Education makes you start respecting your own self. When you have self-respect, then you respect the other person. And when you have some quality in you, you wanted to maintain that. And you wanted a good impression on the others by only your physical personality as well. So if you have a good attitude towards your own self, then definitely you would be good to the others. And he said that you should start grooming yourself, make yourself better, both in walk and talk, and don't go only for making the muscles. Please maintain the mental power and become intelligent, study better and try to get a better future. So when he was saying that to be tidy and all, suddenly one of the student has raised the hand and said that Mr. Weston is a teacher. He is never tidy. How he looks so like not groomed. He looks so untidy. So immediately Mr. Braithwaite stopped and said that there is no need for us to discuss about the teachers. I am telling you all these things, so you should discuss it to me. You discuss about myself, I will discuss about yourself in the class. There is no need to discuss about the third person outside the class in our atmosphere, in our own class. There is no need for discussion. You know, this is one of the teaching he has given to both the teachers as well as the students, that don't try to backbite the other teachers. If you tell the students to not respect certain teacher, so obviously the students will not respect you in return. And where is the need? Everybody is different. And after getting education and after getting to at certain place, we cannot teach the people. And why should we teach all? Because here he is the teacher and they are the student, and he wanted them to learn and to get better into the life. That's why he wanted to teach. Otherwise, why he could get interested into that? Why, like as I said, many are those people who can be, you can see outside with the varieties of the dresses and varieties of the hairstyles. Why should I be bothered about them? Why should I teach them anything? Because they are none for me. If they are my student, I would definitely teach them. I would definitely inform them that these are not the things liked by the people in the society. Maybe you are liking your own self, but not the other people. When you are doing some fashion, you have to keep it in mind that the fashion also suits you. If it is getting suited to some of the other model, they have a different personality. You have a different personality. So don't copy others. Try to be your own copy of original one. You should be your copy, not the other's copy. So try to be the best one. So why should I be bothered about the others? In the same way, he said that you don't get bothered about the other persons, you bother about your own self, and in my class I wanted you to discuss about me and yourself rather than the others. And when he ended, he was expecting these indifferent, hostile, and you can say the different spoiled students to speak out something, but they didn't say anything. They were started discussing among each other, and the bell rang. The recess time started, and what Mr. Braithwaite has to do in the recess? Immediately he has to go and meet Mrs. Dale Evan to inform her that I have already taken your name in the class and I wanted you to conduct a speech or to inform the students to how to keep themselves in a better way during your class. He informed, and she was very happy to help him out. This is the lesson he has written for all the, not only for the students, it is one of the eye opener for the teachers as well. So one most celebrated prose lesson, or you can say story, being enacted in a film. It has been made into a film, that is To Serve with Love. We have it, which we have completed the whole explanation of this, and I wish everyone to please read the glossary as well as the lesson once, so you can able to understand the explanation in a better way. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.